Hello, hello everyone. It's me, Arden Lee. I am back today with another video. And in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about how to break the pattern of when you're sitting there and you know you have a million things to do, but for whatever reason, you can't get up and do the things that you're supposed to. And you might be, in most cases, scrolling through Facebook or Instagram because so much of our social media does provide those dopamine hits. We sit there, waiting for notifications to come in, scrolling through other people's feeds, and we just don't move, right? in a number of cases, this is often called executive dysfunction, and that's certainly true, or at least it can be. It's certainly an interesting way of looking at it. But ultimately, whatever we call it, whatever that thing is that just keeps us rooted to the bed or the couch or wherever it is that keeps us from getting up and doing things, this has become a more and more commonly talked about problem lately. And I had a request earlier today for a video about what to do when that happens to you, because ultimately you don't you don't want to get caught in that trap. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Of course, before I get into that, as always, if you have not yet done so, I would love to invite you to subscribe to my channel and or like my page, depending on where you are viewing this video. And of course, if you're not yet familiar with me and my work, my name is Arden Lee, and I am the creator of the Repatterning Project. And that is an 8-week course where we examine our patterns, we hack our beliefs, and we figure out where our obstacles are. Where are those moments that are slowing us down? What can we link those back to? And we clear those out of our way in order to optimize our paths forward for success, happiness, abundance, whatever it is that we need to believe in order to achieve the things that we want to achieve. We figure out how to program ourselves with those beliefs, right? We figure out how to increase our capacities to do the things that we know we need to do in order to get to the places we want. So overcoming this this executive dysfunction, or even if you just want to call it, a bad habit of sitting and scrolling through Facebook, whatever the case may be, is key often, right? Because there's so many things that keep us in patterns of inaction, right? In patterns of analysis paralysis, or whatever it may be. So anyway, if that's something that sounds like you're interested in, go ahead and check out the description box where I have left a link to a free guide to the Repatterning Project. You can download it. It's a little PDF guide, and you can learn more about what it is that we do. And I also have a link in the description box to the Repatterning Parlor. That is the free group that I moderate on Facebook, full of like-minded individuals who are all sharing their hacks for moving forward with more success, more happiness, and all of the things that they want to be able to achieve for themselves in their lifetimes. So go ahead and check those out. If it calls to you, come say hi to the group, come introduce yourself. We would love to see you there. All right, let's talk about this. So we find ourselves in these patterns of just, I'm going to use scrolling through Facebook and Instagram as an example, because so often that is exactly the thing that we are most conditioned to do. I fall prey to this myself quite often, actually. And I'm really just getting to the point where I'm cultivating the mindfulness to not do it. But there have been days, for as productive as I appear, for as much as I can point to having accomplished, there are absolutely days where I have slept in and woken up still feeling tired, checked my phone, scrolled through all my notifications, put my phone back, and oh, hi Virgil. This is my assistant, by the way. This is Virgil. Would you like to say hi to the people, Virgil? I've slept in, woken up tired, checked my phone because of course I feel that like phone anxiety, like, oh my God, something must have happened on Facebook overnight that I need to know about. The world is clearly falling apart. And I go through my phone, but then of course the light of the phone wakes me up, but I'm still tired, so I put my phone aside and I roll over and I try to go to sleep again, but I don't quite get to sleep. And I also don't quite stay awake. I just lay there in bed, and and when I get antsy, I reach for my phone again, and then I'm like, no, I'm gonna try and sleep a little more, and I put my phone down and I roll over again, and like all of a sudden, you guys, it's like 6 o'clock p.m. It's kind of, it's almost a little embarrassing to talk about. So I've been in those patterns myself. And there's also videos on this channel about how to be more of a morning person, how to get up in the morning and how to feel motivated in the morning, how to feel productive, right? So certain things like putting your phone, if you're using your phone for your alarm clock, which is what most people I know do nowadays. If you're using your phone for an alarm, having your phone at the other side of the room so that when your alarm goes off in the morning, you have to wake up and walk to the other side of the room and get it. That will help. With the sleeping in problem naturally. And I'm like, there are times that I really need to practice what I preach. But honestly, the more that I do this, the more that I talk about it, the more it solidifies as a mindset, and the less and less trouble I am having with it, the easier it's becoming for me. So that brings me to my point, which is you want to start noticing when you're getting into a pattern that you don't want to be doing. You want to start bringing more and more mindfulness to it, because what mindfulness will do is it will cut your tolerance for engaging in those patterns, because you'll notice it and it'll start to annoy you. It'll start to annoy you more and more the more that you notice you're doing it. And there will be a lag time where you notice you're doing it and you're like, oh my God, why can't I stop? Like, why can't I stop doing it, And what was especially interesting about today is that the person who made this inquiry and requested this video in particular, by the time I was able to read their comment and respond to them, they had actually already stopped the pattern. It was less than an hour. And just by acknowledging it, and in this case, making a post on Facebook about it, this person was like, oh my God, I've just been sitting here scrolling through Facebook this whole time, and I can't get up. I know that I need to do the dishes. I know that I need to do some work online. I know that I have to get up and go to the bathroom. I'm sitting here having to pee and I can't move. What is the problem? So first of all, the first thing that they did correctly is they acknowledged the feeling. In fact, they not only acknowledged that feeling and that pattern that they were in, but they even went so far as to make a post about it. That is one of the smartest things you can do, because when you are wrestling with a feeling or a pattern, so often that feeling or that pattern just wants to be acknowledged. It just wants to be witnessed. There's something in your body that needs for you to notice what is going on, and that's why mindfulness is in particular so effective. And even more than mindfulness, for me, I've always found personally that writing something down, especially writing it in a public forum such as Facebook, even if I set the post to friends only, that's fine. Writing it and putting it out there and being witnessed is sometimes enough to clear 80 to 90% of the problem, even if it's sometimes deeply emotional. There is a certain alchemy that happens in writing about what you're going through. And in my case anyway, and I understand everyone has different levels of transparency and vulnerability that they're comfortable with on the internet. So use this if it works for you, and if it doesn't, then don't. But for me, not only writing it, but putting it up and having other people witness it. I mean, I know that, again, we get those dopamine hits from the likes and loves and the comments that we get on things, and here I am talking about put away the thing that's giving you the dopamine hit. But in this case, if you acknowledge a pattern and you use that dopamine hit to be witnessed in it, suddenly that pattern or that feeling in your body is like, oh, all right, cool. You listened to me. Not only did you listen to me, but all those people who liked your post listened to me too. Like, I feel satisfied now. And in this case, the person who made this post, as I said, before I was even able to see it and write a comment on their post, less than an hour later, they wrote back to my comment and they were like, I did it. Like, as soon as I made this post, I noticed what I was feeling. and I decide, you know what, I just need to get up and do something different, and it's going to be better. And honestly, that is really the key. Is it's so hard to make willpower work for us, but the more we notice what's happening, the more we acknowledge that pattern, and the more we decrease our turnaround time as we're observing ourselves. This goes for patterns of all kinds, by the way, you guys. These can be social patterns, these can be romantic patterns, you know, dating and relationship patterns, they can be friendship patterns. They don't have to be a pattern that's just happening over a couple of hours while you're lying in bed. This could be something that is more ongoing. But the minute you notice something, you can start to decrease your turnaround time because you're observing yourself do it. And I get this feedback from my clients all the time after they start working with me. And I always know that when they say this to me, they're on the verge of a breakthrough. They're on the verge of really more moving forward. And what they talk about is essentially they're like, I'm seeing myself, I'm watching myself do this, and yet I can't stop. And I always know that that's just the key, that they're right around the corner from being able to say, okay, I'm sick of this. I want to stop it, and I'm going to stop it now. So what I tell them each time is just when you're noticing it, just aim to decrease your turnaround time. Don't aim for perfection. Just aim for progress, that each time you notice it, it becomes shorter and shorter and shorter. So in summary, when you notice that you are caught in a pattern that you don't want to be in, such as lying in bed scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, and there's nothing even like interesting, you're just seeing the same old post, right? It gets to a point where it's not even fun anymore, and you know you're not having fun, you know you're sitting there and watching yourself, in fact, sometimes become more and more irate and miserable, especially being exposed to like all the dumpster fire of like the news going on in the world, or whatever that happens to be, you know, or all the angry, low vibrational people making, you know, dramatic posts or whatever. You know, it's like expecting your Facebook feed to make you feel good that's not a realistic expectation. But the more mindfulness you can bring to the pattern that's happening, the feeling, the way it's making you feel, which is both that feeling of like, oh my God, Facebook actually makes me like slowly, it's like the frog in a pot of boiling water, like I don't even notice, but all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I feel irritated. I feel like, because I'm just scrolling through all of these, you know, drama posts, you know, or all this terrible news. So I want to bring mindfulness to that feeling, and I also want to bring mindfulness to the pattern. And I can aim from there. I know that if I can summon enough willpower, and I understand that willpower is not like, it's not the best tool in our arsenal, but if I can summon enough willpower to just say, I'm just going to put the phone down for 5 minutes, I'm going to get out of bed, or I'm going to get off the couch, and I'm going to do one task, I'm going to feel better about myself, and I'm going to feel better. And when I feel better, I'm going to be more capable of doing other tasks. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get up and go to the bathroom, because right now I'm torturing myself, right? And then after I've done that, since I will have just gotten up and walked across the room, I'm already going to feel better. And from there, I'm going to avoid that temptation. I'm going to bring mindfulness to my choice about, you know, I'm not going to go back in bed and get on my phone again. I'm going to go and I'm going to wash some dishes. You know, I'm just going to do a sink full of dishes. That's, you know, that's it. I can handle that. I can get that done. Right? And after you do that, you're going to feel like, wow, I feel better. And also my kitchen is cleaner. So what am I going to feel better about doing next? And there, just that one state break, that one pattern break is going to be able to launch you into doing more and more things that actually accomplish your goals, even if they're small, short-term goals, like going to the bathroom or doing your dishes, or you know, getting some work done that you needed to do online. And eventually, of course, you want to slowly turn this around into a whole mindset, right? I have been observing myself over the past several months, and there have been times that I've been caught in patterns, or I've been stuck in lethargy, or it feels like a real push to move forward. And in the last, honestly, even just the last couple weeks, I've felt so much more motivated. I have more of an idea of the things that I need to get done, the time frame that I need to get them done in, and my desire to get them done is just like overrunning me, you know. But that's not like, Rome wasn't built in a day, you know. That didn't happen as soon as I started my journey on, you know, a path to greater consciousness, or to more mindfulness around my decisions. That's something that is the result of months and, you know, Yeah, probably more like months if we're being, yeah, probably more like months. It's probably within the past year that I've um, really been examining just those micro details of the way that I spend my time, the way that I get caught in those kind of everyday quotidian patterns. It's a result of probably about 6 to 8 months, 6 to 8 solid months of really bringing that mindfulness and examination. And now that I have a better view of that and I see that with more clarity, um, that motivation comes more naturally to me because I've given thought about what I want to accomplish, and my desire to accomplish things is finally overriding my desire to stay in my patterns. I still notice them happening sometimes. Just the other night, I was reading because I have more goals about reading more. Because there's more on my list that I want to have read, and I'm finally like, I need to get through these. Like, I need to stop procrastinating on my reading. And just the other night I read like a couple chapters, and then I picked up my phone just to be like, oh, I'll just check my notifications, and like 5 minutes later I notice I'm just like scrolling through all these posts, like not like I've checked all my notifications, nobody's emailing me, like everything is fine, but I'm scrolling through like, no, just one more post, and I'm like, Arden, stop that, put it down, you need to read, right? But the more I bring mindfulness to that pattern, the more I can decrease my turnaround time before I start being productive again. So there you have it. Just bring your conscious awareness, your conscious attention, and know that just making that state break, if you need to write about it, if you need to acknowledge the feeling, have that feeling witnessed, if you need to post about it, and then suddenly, I don't know, somehow for me anyway, writing something and posting it just sort of breaks a feeling's hold over me. So I definitely encourage you to try that, even if it's somewhere where you do it anonymously or something, or, you make a Facebook account with I don't know, a fake name and a cartoon character avatar, I don't know, whatever it is you want to do, just having it witnessed moves so much energy, at least it does for me. So I definitely advise you to give that a shot. It definitely did for my client this afternoon as well. She as soon as she posted it, she was just like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna go do something else, and she felt a lot better after that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful. Remember, leave your comments and let me know what kind of patterns you are looking to reprogram in yourself. I'm at your service. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.